What's up, everybody? Some gamer chick here, and when I saw this article pop up in my phone notifications today, I just had to make a video about this. Y'all remember my video on my message to EA after I first played this god-awful game? It's a terrible game. Yeah, that was a little bit cathartic. So, seeing the Dragon Age The Failguard snags Game of the Year award, I was like, whoa, I gotta check this article out. And then I see this. Gaming told me everything I needed to know about the people who gave this piece of shit game Game of the Year. Now, if you have been paying attention to my channel, if you've read my book, Dom Pearson's, you know I really don't have anything against gay characters in literature at all. Not really. I mean, Kage is a gay hermaphrodite incubus, and this is quite the stack, isn't it? So gay characters, they don't bother me, not at all, not in the slightest. But what does bother me, especially if you've been paying attention to my crusades against bad writing. Terrible writing. If you saw my some of the videos I've been doing on these books recently, which I started reading this. That's as far as I got before I just went nope. I got a bit farther in this one before I went nope. Maybe I'll finish them, but you know how I feel about shitty writing. And one of Failguard's biggest problems is writing. Now, Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Origins Awakening, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, they all of the characters felt diverse and unique, and they felt like actual people. And that's one of the things about original BioWare stuff that made what they did so good. And then you get to just moving my stack of gay stories out of my way. But that was something that made the Dragon Age games, and even not the BioShock, but the the other one that they did. I can't think of the name right now. Mass Effect. That's one of the things that made both of those stories quite good. And I'm saying stories because that is exactly what those games were. They were interactive stories, and you get immersed in them, and you don't have to deal with real life for a while. You get to play around, be the hero, all of that kind of stuff. And then somewhere along the way, a nasty movement called the LGBTQ+, or QIA, or however the acronym goes now, they got it in their heads that they needed to be shoved in to every single aspect of entertainment, from videos to books to video games. Hell, I think they're even trying to shove their way into music and make music gay somehow. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's coming. coming. But, it brings me to this article. And I was reading through it a little bit. I mean, I was watching some Beyond Belief and some Life of Cleopatra thing because I was bored and reading. But they sit here and they praise this game because it just shoved their propaganda down the throats of the players. I mean, you go down here and it's Dragon Age the Veilguard underperformed commercially, reaching around 1.5 million players during its first quarter and failing to meet EA expectations by around 50%. The thing is, they're saying 1.5 million players. They're not talking about copies of the game sold. That tells you a lot. They're going 1.5 million players because they know nowhere near that many copies were sold. That's why they're saying the player count, not the copy sold count. The game didn't underperform. It crashed and burned because it was a terrible game. The gameplay was shitty. The characters were shitty. The artwork, it was just fucking it wasn't Dragon Age. It was Fortnite with a Dragon Age skin. Dialogue was just cringy. Story beats were just... Ugh. I mean, you have the assassin character, which I wanted to like the assassin character. I really did. I wanted to like him. But the issue with him is you would expect your first character-driven quest with the assassin to be something along the lines of go out, murder someone, maybe flirt a little bit over the dead body. You know, just normal assassin stuff. But no, you go shopping, and then have tea together. And he makes a note of whether or not you prefer tea or coffee. That's your first character quest with the assassin. They made him a fruitcake. And the crows, which in Dragon Age Origins, when you're dealing with Zevran, who was a crow, he was also a bisexual horny dude, and I fucking loved him. He described the crows as they bought you, they turned you into a killer, and if you failed, they killed you. But in Failguard, they're painted as altruistic and a family, and they don't buy orphans orphans from orphanages and shit like that. They save them. That is how they're painted in Failguard. When the original painting of them was, we are an elite assassin's crew, and if you fail us, we kill you. And your first character, and Zevran, like, if you see him in Dragon Age 2, he's trying to get away from the crows. He's trying to evade them and stay alive. Like, that's his whole thing. If you see him in 2, is he's trying to stay alive because the crows are hunting him. You even get crow contracts in Dragon Age Origins, where you go and kill people, but you can't. You don't really get them in Failguard. It was. I still haven't finished the game. I eventually I'll finish it, but. But, you know, really get them in Failguard. It was... I still haven't finished the game. I eventually I'll finish it. But... Eventually I'll finish it. But... You know, really get them in Failguard. It was... I still haven't finished the game. I eventually I'll finish it. But... And then you look at the main antagonists of Failguard. And a lot of times when you encounter a white character, they're portrayed as evil. But if the character is not white, not straight, and a tranny, they're portrayed as perfect and good, and and if they're a woman. It's kind of weird. Like, I know people are gonna look at my lovely pale skin and go, well, you're just white, you wouldn't understand. Excuse me? Just because I'm white doesn't mean that people can't be racist towards me. And yeah, I am pointing out that this bullshit of a game is racist towards white people. It puts anybody who's not a white straight person on a pedestal and basically says straight white people are the devil and they should be killed. It's part of the propaganda that it's just throwing at people. And the game was absolute shit. So any sort of game awards thing that would give this game Game of the Year, they're not worth anybody's time. And it was terrible, right? Even taking away the fact that it was racist towards white people, it glorified and slobbed the knob of anybody in fucking this. I mean, really? 3 different awards? Game of the Year, Best LGBTQ Character Award for Rook? Rook is the playable character. That's the character that you play. That character is supposed to be you in the game. It's you going through the story. How is he supposed to be the best alphabet person character when he's just the person playing the game? And then all of the companion characters, it didn't matter if you were a male or a female or whatever. You could romance them. This has romance aspects in it. And if I was to make this into a video game or make a video like an RPG Dragon Age style video game based on the world building that I have done in this game, and I had companion characters and some of them were to be able to be romanced, I would make it to where each character had specific, like most of them had specific requirements to be romanced. In Dragon Age Inquisition, for example, Solus, you could only romance him as a female elf. It made the character seem real. It made him feel alive. But when you make it to where every character can be romanced no matter what, they're all pansexuals or whatever, you take away that sense of realism and aliveness and authenticity for what? A message? It makes no sense. And then you also take away replayability. One thing that makes Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Inquisition replayable is you can play the story how in your head this is how it's going to be canon in your head, and then but you can go back and make different characters to play it in different ways. You could make a gay dwarf that goes after the Iron Bowl if you want. You could make another dwarf. I'm sorry, I don't play dwarves very often, but you can make another dwarf in Origins and have him bang Morrigan and have the kid, but the kid's not doesn't take the essence of the dragon god and that kind of stuff. You can change how you play it, but when you have every character already able to be romanced by anyone, you play through once and you basically have the story. There's no real reason to go back and replay the story. Also, a lot of the dialogue, it was just childish. It was trauma dumping. One of the reasons why I just kind of noped out of this was it was trauma dumping porn. After the 8th time of the character going, I'm traumatized, I get the fucking point. Move on. And that was what a lot of Dragon Age the Failguard was. It was the characters going, I'm so traumatized. My life sucks. It gets tedious and annoying after a while. Yeah, y'all are gonna get some, oh, wrong way. So this is the current book that I'm working on right now, and the chapter I finished today, chapter 16, Interrogation. You go through, you start out in Altina's point of view. It's a crime scene. There's cops everywhere. It's chaotic, that kind of thing, and then it goes to Kieran's point of view, where he's in an interrogation room, and Kieran, at this point in the books, he's got trauma. And after a minute, you get towards the end where the trauma crops up. I'll start from right here. Halfway through, Blakova returned with a bag and a cup from McDonald's. Kieran's nose scrunched at the scent of root beer from the cup. She set it in front of him before reclaiming her seat next to the other two marshals. Kieran swallowed, unable to take his eyes from the cup, frozen as the memory of bitter coffee dried his mouth. The scent of roses suffocated the cinnamon candy that clung to Blakova as a blue moth landed on the cup, its elegant wings flapping lazily as the woman in the theater broke her silence. Her pride won't let her poison you like that, but you've earned a treat. The bitter scent of the root beer changed to the sweetness of Dr. Pepper. Kieran took a drink, smiling at the cold fizz. None of the watered down flavor that always came with ice. He opened the bag, the aroma of a Five Guys burger and Cajun fries filling the small room as he peered inside. That first fry was hot and crisp as he nodded to Blakova. Thank you. You get his trauma from this book. And this is book 6 that I'm working on right now. You see his trauma crop up from this book, but I don't over-explain it. I don't trauma dump. He freezes when he sees that cup of soda, and he remembers the cup of coffee, not Altina, but Lacey gave him in this book that poisoned him. So you can bring up trauma in a story, but when you pound it into someone's head over and over again, they don't care. They just don't give a shit about the character. Fucking Lynn's trauma in this book. I wasn't even at this point in the book before. I was like this far in the book when I finally just went, I don't give a shit about this character. This character's okay. He's actually done pretty well. Surprisingly. Especially after this groomer's fantasy. But fucking Nether actually done pretty good. Well, like he's got the trauma. Sometimes he trauma dumps a bit, but it's not as bad. Fucking her, every time you're in her point of view, she trauma dumps all over you, and that is exactly what Dragon Age the Failguard does to you as well. It trauma dumps all over you to the point where you give no shits about the characters in there. You don't care what happens to them. You don't care. You don't even want to see them succeed because of it. And then they Best Alphabet Character Award to Rook. Rook is the player character. You're making the choices for Rook. Now, if it went Best Alphabet Character for the weird Canary chick, it'd make a little bit more sense. I wouldn't go so far as to say she's anywhere near Iron Bull and Dorian and Inquisition, or just Zevran in general. I mean, Zevran, come on! Fucking bisexual, he's funny, he lives life to enjoy life, because he knows it could be snuffed out at any moment. He just lives his life. That's the character that you give the Best Alphabet Character to. Character like Zevran. But Rook? Nah. Not even Miss I'm non-binary. But I have been rambling. I thought I'd point this out because this was just... Really? And it really feels like they only gave them these to bring up talk about Dragon Age the Veilguard, because EA is still trying to get some of their money back. So a nice little puff piece to make the game seem interesting and get people to buy it. Just remember, Dragon Age the Veilguard came out Halloween 2024. It was free on PlayStation Plus in March 2025. And nobody fucking played it then. That is how terrible this game is. They trauma dump all over you. They shove political propaganda down your throat. This game sucks. It fucking sucks. But if you want actually good story and character-driven drama, I guess. I wouldn't really say it's drama. But definitely check out my books. I'll leave a link in the description below. But yeah, I thought I'd bring this to your guys' attention because this game sucks. I mean, the characters look terrible. I hated her. Discount Dorian, discount Mel? Whatever the elf chick was, whatever her name was in 2. Discount Warden in general. Can't remember who he was a discount character of. Discount version of herself. Discount version of Zevran. Not even discount. That's the Temu version of Zevran. Discount version of herself. Discount. This is Craigslist Iron Bull. That's who she is. Craigslist Iron Bull. But I am going to leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant. Don't forget to check out my own writing. I will leave a link in the description below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will try to get an episode of Crusades Against Bad Writing out this week. I just didn't want to read Scotty this week. I'm sorry. I just didn't want to read it. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will definitely catch you in the next one. Bye-bye! Enter the world, but tread with care. Those roots remember every prayer. Carved from ash, from bone, from flame. The sacred beasts don't play or game. Here change comes swift on silver wing, with dragonflies that bite and sting. Truth flickers soft and sharp as steel, and every wound must learn to heal. Don't come armed with hollow lore. This world won't let you fake the war. For those who think they understand, you'll bleed the fastest by your hand. So read and ache, be torn apart. These stories rise from broken hearts. With grit and teeth, they scream and soar. You've never known a world like this before.